Certainly. Here's a fictional story centered around the Mega Millions drawing. Title: The Fortune of the Mega Millions. It was a crisp autumn evening in the small town of Cedarville. The leaves were beginning to turn shades of red and gold, and there was a sense of anticipation in the air. Tonight was the Mega Millions drawing, and the entire town seemed to be buzzing with excitement. In the heart of Cedarville, tucked away on Main Street, sat a quaint little convenience store called Lucky's Mart. It was a modest establishment, with its faded sign and flickering neon lights, but it held a special place in the hearts of the townsfolk. For years, people had been coming to Lucky's to purchase their lottery tickets, hoping for a chance to strike it rich. Inside the store, the atmosphere was electric. The cashier, a friendly woman named Maggie, greeted each customer with a smile as they eagerly lined up to buy their tickets. Among them was Sarah Thompson, a young mother of two who worked as a waitress at the local diner. Sarah had been struggling to make ends meet ever since her husband lost his job at the factory. Money was tight, and every penny counted. But tonight, she decided to splurge and buy a ticket for the Mega Millions drawing. Maybe, just maybe, this would be her lucky break. As Sarah handed her money to Maggie and received her ticket in return, she felt a flutter of excitement in her chest. She tucked the ticket safely into her purse and made her way home, her mind already spinning with possibilities. Meanwhile, across town, another resident was also purchasing a ticket at Lucky's Mart. His name was Jack Reynolds, a retired schoolteacher who had spent the past few years living a quiet life alone in his small apartment. Jack had never been one to indulge in frivolous spending, but something about tonight's drawing had caught his attention. As he held the ticket in his hand, Jack couldn't help but smile. He imagined all the things he could do with the winnings: travel the world, buy a new car, maybe even donate some money to charity. It was a fleeting fantasy, but for a moment, it made him feel alive again. The night of the drawing arrived, and the entire town seemed to hold its breath as the numbers were announced on live television. One by one, the balls rolled out of the machine, each one carrying the hopes and dreams of millions of people across the country. And then, it happened. The winning numbers were revealed, and a deafening roar erupted from Lucky's Mart as the townsfolk realized that someone in Cedarville had hit the jackpot. Sarah Thompson sat in front of her television, her heart pounding in her chest as she compared the numbers on her ticket to the ones on the screen. And then, she saw it, a perfect match. She had won. Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she hugged her children tightly, knowing that their lives were about to change forever. For the first time in years, she felt a glimmer of hope for the future. But as the celebrations continued into the night, Jack Reynolds sat alone in his apartment, staring at the winning ticket in his hand. His heart was heavy with regret as he realized that he had missed out on his chance for happiness. In the end, the fortune of the Mega Millions had brought both joy and sorrow to the people of Cedarville. But as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. And for Sarah Thompson, the true test of her newfound wealth was only just beginning. As the days turned into weeks and the initial excitement began to fade, Sarah found herself faced with a difficult decision. How would she use her winnings to make a difference in the lives of those around her? Would she succumb to the temptations of wealth, or would she stay true to the values that had guided her through life's toughest moments? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain: the fortune of the Mega Millions had left an indelible mark on the town of Cedarville, forever changing the lives of its residents in ways they could never have imagined. As the news of Sarah's win spread throughout Cedarville, the town was abuzz with excitement. Everyone seemed to have an opinion on how she should spend her newfound fortune. Some suggested she invest in the community by supporting local businesses or funding projects to improve infrastructure. Others encouraged her to splurge on luxury items or take extravagant vacations. Sarah, however, remained grounded amidst the frenzy. She knew that with great wealth came great responsibility, and she was determined to use her winnings wisely. After consulting with financial advisors and close friends, she devised a plan to allocate a portion of her winnings towards securing her family's future, paying off debts, setting up college funds for her children, and investing in a modest home where they could build new memories. But Sarah's generosity didn't stop there. She also felt a deep sense of gratitude towards her community and wanted to give back in meaningful ways. Inspired by the kindness she had received during her times of need, Sarah established a scholarship fund for students facing financial hardship, ensuring that others would have the opportunity to pursue their dreams regardless of their circumstances. In addition to her philanthropic efforts, Sarah also made a conscious effort to live modestly and remain connected to her roots. While she enjoyed the occasional indulgence, such as treating her family to a nice dinner or taking a weekend getaway, she never lost sight of what truly mattered: love, family, and community. As for Jack Reynolds, the retired schoolteacher who had missed out on the jackpot, he found solace in the simple pleasures of life. Though he had initially felt a pang of regret upon realizing his missed opportunity, he soon came to realize that true happiness couldn't be bought with money. Instead, he focused on the things that brought him joy: spending time with friends, volunteering at the local library, and pursuing his passion for painting. In the end, the fortune of the Mega Millions had brought about a transformation in Cedarville, one that went beyond material wealth. It had reminded the townsfolk of the importance of compassion, generosity, and community. And as they moved forward, guided by these values, they knew that no matter what the future held, they would always be rich in the things that truly mattered. As weeks turned into months, Sarah Thompson's life settled into a new rhythm. With the financial burdens lifted, she found herself able to focus on the things that truly mattered: spending time with her children, nurturing her relationships, and pursuing her passions. One of Sarah's greatest joys came from using her newfound wealth to give back to her community. In addition to the scholarship fund she had established, she also volunteered at local charities and participated in fundraisers for causes close to her heart. Whether it was organizing food drives for the homeless or helping to renovate the town's playground, Sarah was always eager to lend a helping hand. But perhaps the most meaningful impact of Sarah's win was the way it inspired others in Cedarville to pay it forward. People began to look out for one another more, offering support and assistance whenever it was needed. Neighbors helped neighbors, and strangers became friends as the sense of community deepened. As for Jack Reynolds, the retired schoolteacher, he found himself embracing a newfound sense of purpose. Inspired by Sarah's generosity, he decided to use his talents as a painter to raise money for local charities. He held art exhibitions and auctions, donating the proceeds to causes ranging from education to environmental conservation. Through their actions, Sarah and Jack became beacons of hope in Cedarville, showing that true wealth wasn't measured in dollars and cents, but in the impact one could make on the lives of others. And as the town continued to flourish, fueled by the spirit of generosity and kindness, it became clear that the fortune of the Mega Millions had brought about a legacy that would endure for generations to come. As time passed, Sarah's impact on Cedarville continued to grow. With her scholarship fund thriving, she expanded its reach to support not only academic pursuits but also vocational training and entrepreneurial endeavors. She believed in empowering individuals to create their own opportunities and contribute to the community in meaningful ways. In addition to her philanthropic endeavors, Sarah became actively involved in local initiatives aimed at addressing social issues such as homelessness, education inequality, and access to health care. She worked closely with organizations and community leaders to advocate for change and ensure that Cedarville remained a place where everyone had the opportunity to thrive. But Sarah's journey was not without its challenges. As her wealth and influence grew, she faced criticism and scrutiny from some quarters. There were those who questioned her motives and accused her of seeking attention or trying to buy popularity. However, Sarah remained steadfast in her convictions, knowing that her actions were driven by a genuine desire to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Despite the occasional setbacks, Sarah's impact on Cedarville was undeniable. She had transformed the town into a beacon of hope and opportunity, where everyone felt valued and supported. And as she looked back on her journey, Sarah knew that winning the Mega Millions had been about much more than just money. It had been a catalyst for change, inspiring her to become the best version of herself and leave a lasting legacy of compassion and generosity for generations to come.